Close your eyes for a moment and let your thoughts wander to the idea that Edgar Cayce, widely recognized as America's most thoroughly documented psychic, offered profound insights that deeply altered our understanding of consciousness during the cremation process. In one of his notable sessions, specifically number 57564 from 1932, Cayce brought forth information about the soul's passage through cremation that astonished even the person diligently transcribing his words. As we prepare to explore these truly transformative disclosures, you might consider gently tapping the subscribe button and the notification bell, for we are poised to uncover documented spiritual realities that could forever reshape your perspective on passing from this life and the nature of consciousness itself. Furthermore, please feel welcome to share in the comments below any personal spiritual experiences you may have encountered that seem to defy conventional understanding. Tonight's discussion will gently bring to light three remarkable insights derived from Edgar Cayce's extensive recorded readings, focusing particularly on the process of cremation and the soul's onward journey. Our journey commences by examining the exact destiny of your spiritual self during cremation, details brought to light within reading 1-36-18. Subsequently, we shall delve into Cayce's insights regarding why the timing selected for cremation holds a significance far greater than generally acknowledged wisdom gathered from a distinct session he conducted for a sorrowing family in Virginia Beach. Our third point will illuminate the unexpected connection between cremation and the concept of rebirth, a relationship Edgar Cayce unveiled across more than 40 individual life evaluations. Yet, an exceptionally profound revelation lies ahead. Within the pages of reading 57564, a mother, burdened by immense grief, posed a sincere question to Cayce, seeking to discover if her departed son experienced any pain during his cremation. His reply proved so entirely unexpected that it fundamentally reshaped how countless individuals across America came to understand both the final moment of life and the continuous essence of consciousness. Edgar Cayce's profound understanding extended far beyond mere guesswork. Over a span of 43 years, precisely from 1901 to 1944, he remarkably provided 14,306 completely documented psychic interpretations, all while in a deep state of trance. These were by no means arbitrary spiritual ideas. Each session was meticulously recorded by skilled stenographers, and today, these comprehensive records are carefully safeguarded within the Association for Research and Enlightenment's archives in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Once Cayce entered his trance state, he could access what he referred to as the Akashic records. Imagine this as a vast cosmic library, holding every thought, feeling, and experience from every soul that has ever existed. Through this singular connection, he was able to accurately answer questions regarding consciousness, the process of passing, and the afterlife with extraordinary precision. It is precisely here that the story truly becomes captivating. During a consultation, reading 136-18, given to a family considering their choice regarding cremation, Cayce clarified that the soul experiences no physical discomfort during the process, as consciousness has already separated from the earthly vessel. However, he subsequently shared a profound insight that deeply reshaped our understanding of the journey of transition after passing. He spoke of an intermediate stage which he referred to as the borderland, during which the soul maintains a subtle connection to its former physical form. In this crucial interval, spanning from 3 days to several weeks, the soul continues its adaptation to its transformed state of being. And here unfolds a truly remarkable understanding. Cayce explained that throughout this entire transitional phase, the soul perceives events occurring near its physical form, yet not through the body's conventional sensory pathways. Instead, this perception resembles a faint intuition, much like recalling a memory that has almost slipped away. In a particular recorded session, identified as reading 2072-10, Cayce received a direct query regarding whether the practice of cremation might impede a soul's progression. His response unveiled a noteworthy and fresh understanding. He clarified that contrary to some beliefs, cremation actually facilitates a more rapid detachment of the soul from its physical form compared to conventional interment. The fiery process, he elaborated, serves as both a symbolic cleansing and an energetic purification, gently guiding the soul towards more refined levels of awareness. Yet, Cayce brought to light a crucial element, one that remains quite unfamiliar to a great number of people. The precise moment cremation occurs holds profound importance. During an earlier recorded discourse, specifically reading 57564, Cayce further explained that should cremation take place too quickly following the moment of departure, specifically within the first 24 to 72 hours, the soul could experience a state he described as disorientation, rather than any sensation of physical discomfort. This feeling of bewilderment arises because the soul is still in the delicate process of disengaging from its earthly vessel. As an illustration, consider a 1936 case. A woman from Norfolk, Virginia, sought Cayce's guidance concerning her husband, who had unexpectedly passed away in a car crash. Even though his family arranged his immediate cremation, she was troubled by dreams of her husband appearing distressed and perplexed. During reading 17862, Cayce affirmed his soul experienced this bewilderment as cremation occurred before his consciousness fully adjusted to its disembodied state. Cayce elucidated that when an individual departs suddenly, the spirit often needs extended time to grasp its transition and finalize detachment from the physical realm. However, what transpired next was truly remarkable. Cayce offered solace to the grieving wife, explaining that her husband's period of confusion would soon diminish, and that her sincere prayers and loving intentions were effectively guiding his adaptation to this new plane of existence. In the weeks following this conversation, the woman's disquieting night visions gently receded, giving way to tranquil encounters where her departed husband appeared serene and at rest. This guides us to a further insight provided by Cayce, one perhaps even more profound, regarding the practices of cremation and the journey of rebirth. Across more than 40 distinct life interpretations, Cayce consistently explained that the manner in which we attend to the physical form after its passing can, in truth, influence our future progression, though perhaps not in the way commonly envisioned. He proceeded to clarify that cremation, when carried out with thoughtful attention to its timing and with a genuinely sacred intention, truly assists the soul in gently separating from what he described as its terrestrial attachments. He clarified these as emotional and mental bonds, holding the spirit tethered to the earthly realm instead of allowing it to ascend to more elevated states of understanding. This insightful understanding illuminates a significant perspective for your personal spiritual journey. In the course of a session, identified as reading 26-A6, a query was put forth to Cayce, asking if individuals selecting cremation underwent reincarnation in a manner distinct from those whose physical forms were laid to rest. His response, it turned out, was notably impactful. He clarified that the chosen way of dismissing the physical vessel holds no consequence for the cycle of rebirth. Rather, it is one's level of inner consciousness and advancement in the spiritual realm that truly holds significance. Even so, he did reveal a unique point concerning a soul's preparedness from a spiritual standpoint. Cayce further elaborated that when spiritual entities deliberately opt for cremation, driven by their deeply held beliefs, they frequently display a notable release from worldly attachments, which consequently aids their more rapid transition between successive lives. Yet, Cayce then presented an even more astonishing observation concerning awareness and the process of moving beyond. According to insights found in reading 57493, Cayce explained that the soul doesn't simply detach from its physical container at the moment of passing. Instead, he outlined a profound journey for consciousness, navigating through what he identified as 7 unique phases of transition. Furthermore, he observed that cremation aids in quickening these steps by releasing the corporeal link that holds the soul's attention to the terrestrial world. Permit me to now delve into these 7 stages, as a deeper comprehension of them may significantly reshape your outlook on the transition process. The very first stage unfolds at the precise moment of leaving, when the soul initiates its soft disengagement from the bodily form. This experience, Cayce explained, is akin to slowly rousing from a truly profound sleep. The soul then recognizes, quite suddenly, that its continued existence does not necessitate its physical vessel. Subsequently, the second stage, which Cayce referred to as the review period, then unfolds. In the course of this phase, lasting anywhere from hours to days, the soul engages in a deep contemplation of the lifetime that has just concluded. This process is not about judgment, but rather a profound learning journey, enabling the spirit to absorb the spiritual wisdom gained from its earthly existence. The third phase is recognized as the period of choice. At this juncture, the soul faces a momentous decision: to advance towards higher planes of being or to remain in proximity to the terrestrial world. Cayce illuminated that spiritual entities with strong attachments to the material sphere frequently opt to stay close to the physical dimension during this particular stage. It is precisely at this point that cremation acquires significant spiritual importance. Cayce additionally conveyed that the cleansing flame utilized in cremation serves as a symbolic passage intended to facilitate the soul's navigation through stages 4, 5, 6, and 7 with enhanced ease. A truly remarkable insight regarding cremation, stemming from the wisdom of Edgar Cayce, has the potential to genuinely surprise you. In the transcripts from reading 1947-3, Cayce explored an inquiry regarding how cremation affects a soul's ability to communicate with family and friends still residing on our planet. His response presented a perspective quite distinct from the commonly held beliefs about spiritual exchanges. Cayce clarified that cremation, in fact, enhances a soul's capacity to connect with those who are alive, primarily because it severs the energetic link to the decaying bodily form. He further conveyed that when the physical body is interred, a segment of the soul's essence often remains attached to that form as it gradually merges back into the earth. This lingering connection, he noted, creates a form of interference, obstructing clear communication on a spiritual plane. Conversely, when a spirit experiences cremation, its energy becomes entirely liberated from its earthly ties. This release subsequently facilitates a more distinct connection with cherished individuals, manifesting through nocturnal visions, profound meditative states, and other understated spiritual encounters. Allow me to share a documented occurrence that beautifully exemplifies this very concept. During 1941, within Virginia Beach, a mother received insight, catalogued as reading 374042, following her daughter's demise due to pneumonia. The family had chosen cremation for their loved one, even though some relatives vocalized apprehension that such a decision could hinder their ability to perceive their daughter's lasting essence. Cayce disclosed that the choice of cremation was, in fact, influenced by the daughter's spirit, which desired detachment from terrestrial bonds to maintain its supportive role for her family from the unseen spiritual domain. In the period succeeding the cremation, the family began to experience remarkably vivid dreams and unambiguous indicators that the daughter had found tranquility and was diligently watching over them. However, a particularly significant insight Cayce conveyed about cremation and the very core of awareness is as follows. During one specific reading, identified as 575614, Cayce clarified that the act of cremation serves as a spiritual cleansing, assisting the soul in shedding its connection not just to the corporeal form, but also to emotional and mental patterns that have ceased to serve its highest evolution. Picture it in this way. When articles of clothing become too restrictive, we commonly give them away or discard them. Cayce further indicated that cremation aids the soul in returning its terrestrial vessel to the cosmos, retaining solely the spiritual wisdom and affection destined to foster its advancement in subsequent incarnations. For this reason, Cayce frequently suggested cremation for individuals whose lives had been dedicated to spiritual development and assisting others. He clarified that such spiritually evolved beings were prepared to sever their attachment to the material world, advancing swiftly on their path of intrinsic growth. Yet, what might be considered regarding the quiet apprehension many individuals feel when contemplating cremation? In reading 13683, Cayce offered a direct response to this specific concern. He noted that this discomfort surrounding cremation frequently stems from a mistaken understanding of what true awareness truly involves. People often harbor fears that the process of cremation could somehow harm or even extinguish the spirit. However, Cayce gently clarified that our consciousness exists entirely separate from our physical vessel. To help illuminate this idea, he presented a thoughtful comparison. Cayce likened the connection between the spirit and the human body to the relationship an individual shares with their dwelling. When someone moves away from a house, their existence does not cease simply because that structure is subsequently taken down. Similarly, when the soul departs from its earthly abode, it proceeds on its journey, entirely unaffected by what becomes of its temporary form. This viewpoint might softly invite you to reflect upon your unique spiritual path. Cayce revealed that those who develop profound spiritual habits while on earth such as reflective meditation, sincere prayer, and selfless assistance to others, undergo the shift of departure and change differently from people focused mainly on worldly ambitions. From a particular insight documented in reading 1472-12, Cayce elaborated that spirits attaining a level of spiritual ripeness often regard their exit as a joyful liberation instead of a melancholic farewell. For these enlightened consciousnesses, cremation frequently acts as a symbolic commemoration of their spiritual advancement and their movement beyond physical existence. Now, let's direct our focus to Cayce's insights regarding how an individual can ready themselves for their own private journey of passing and metamorphosis. In reading 5749-6, Cayce explained that the optimal readiness for this significant journey means not yielding to apprehension, but embracing each day with conscious spiritual presence and a heartfelt desire to aid those around us. He also revealed that souls nurturing their innate spiritual gifts through their time on earth, employing them to uplift humanity, experience a much gentler transition, irrespective of burial or cremation. Cayce furthermore shared profound insight regarding the very instant of our departure from this life. In reading 3744, he clarified that our individual souls actively choose the precise moment and method of departing their earthly form. Therefore, if you sense a natural leaning toward cremation, it might be your soul recognizes this choice will best aid your passage and continued spiritual evolution. Let us reflect upon how these understandings connect with your unique spiritual journey right now. According to Cayce's wisdom, comprehending the essence of transformation and the realms beyond isn't solely about preparing for one's own passing. Rather, its deeper purpose is to discern the fundamental nature of awareness itself and how this profound grasp can be employed to cultivate a life brimming with spiritual depth in this present moment. In reading 25-4-68, Cayce further explained that those who truly grasp the temporary nature of life on earth are more inclined to concentrate on cultivating their innate spiritual gifts and extending help to fellow beings. These individuals also tend to experience profound tranquility and contentment throughout their time here, as they are unburdened by any apprehension regarding their eventual transition. A significant perspective Cayce offered concerning cremation and the progression of the spirit is found in reading 5-7-5-6-2-7. Cayce clarified that the specific method, whether cremation or a conventional interment, is less critical than the deeper intention and consciousness guiding the decision. What truly matters is that this choice emerges from genuine affection, a deep spiritual comprehension, and a mindful consideration for the soul's ongoing passage. Cayce also revealed that relatives who opt for cremation for their cherished ones, with the sincere goal of fostering the soul's spiritual advancement, actively contribute to this evolution through their sincere meditations and devoted prayers. This unveils a particularly profound dimension of how Cayce's teachings on cremation can profoundly influence your spiritual involvement in your everyday existence. Cayce explained that thoughtful reflection on the true nature of consciousness and what lies beyond helps cultivate what he described as spiritual perception. This is the inherent capacity to apprehend non-physical realms, even as we continue to reside within our earthly bodies. From document 26215, Cayce outlined particular meditative practices to cultivate this internal spiritual awareness. He recommended a daily contemplation of the temporary essence of our physical form and the unending nature of our awareness. This practice, he noted, deepens one's existence with expanded spiritual comprehension and reduces apprehension about change. Let us now explore an idea that provides immediate comfort for your path of spiritual discovery. Cayce conveyed that individuals embracing the idea of rebirth and the unbroken flow of consciousness frequently discover profound tranquility and meaning in their present existence. They come to realize that every encounter, all bonds with others, and each difficulty serves as a remarkable chance for the spirit's development. Citing document 1947-4, Cayce clarified that this insight allows us to navigate difficult circumstances with enhanced wisdom and empathy. Instead of succumbing to temporary physical or emotional struggles. Rather, we can perceive these moments as unique openings for our spirits to acquire insight and mature. This offers a way to integrate Edgar Cayce's insights regarding cremation and the unbroken stream of consciousness into your daily spiritual routine. Begin by dedicating moments to tranquil reflection, pondering the authentic essence of awareness and its profound connection to our physical form. Cayce suggested that this practice aids in cultivating a deeper internal understanding and gently fosters a detachment from worldly attachments. Afterward, make it a regular practice to offer loving intentions and heartfelt prayers to our departed, without concern for their physical remains, whether cremated or traditionally buried. Cayce emphasized that such love genuinely helps these spirits on their continued journey and reinforces the everlasting connections joining souls across different dimensions. Ultimately, embrace Cayce's perspective on life's conclusion and the transformation it signifies, letting it guide you to more thoroughly inhabit your present experiences. Once we truly grasp that our awareness is eternal and our bodily existence merely fleeting, our attention naturally gravitates toward what holds genuine significance, our inner growth and meaningful contribution to fellow beings. Finally, consider the way your individual beliefs about life's end and what lies beyond shape your everyday spiritual practices. Edgar Cayce further explained that a fear of departure often hinders individuals from completely realizing their innate spiritual gifts and following their authentic purpose in life. The profound understanding of cremation and consciousness, shared through Cayce's timeless wisdom, provides a deeply significant perspective. This viewpoint illuminates that the moment of passing is not an ultimate ending, but instead a profound transformation. Possessing such insight frees us from worry, allowing us to live with elevated spiritual understanding and a more defined purpose. As we conclude our journey through Edgar Cayce's perspectives on cremation and the essence of awareness, I'd like to present this culminating thought drawn from reading 15:749-14. Cayce conveyed that the soul's journey continues eternally, and every experience, including moments of transition and transformation, plays a role in its spiritual evolution and progress. Irrespective of whether you choose cremation or burial for yourself or your loved ones, the most vital aspect is that your choice stems from a wellspring of affection, coupled with a deeper spiritual insight and an unwavering conviction in the soul's consistent movement toward a state of heightened understanding. If these ideas have helped broaden your perspective on the path of spiritual development, we warmly encourage you to subscribe to this channel and gently tap the notification bell ensuring you don't miss our forthcoming discussions, delving into Edgar Cayce's wisdom on subjects like reincarnation, wellness, and psychic foresight. We invite you to share this presentation with others who might benefit from these profound spiritual insights. This act of sharing is crucial for conveying these transformative lessons to those who most require their illumination. Feel welcome to share your reflections in the comments below, offering your personal views on the subjects of life's transition and consciousness. Have personal moments in your life ever affirmed the profound wisdom Edgar Cayce shared through his varied interpretations? I carefully review every submission and truly value discovering the distinct spiritual journeys each of you undertakes. Let us always hold close the gentle wisdom from Edgar Cayce's deep insights, beautifully conveying that our true nature is spirit, simply navigating a human experience, and that the passage we term passing is merely a doorway to the next phase of our soul's unending journey. When we truly absorb this core insight, it holds the profound power to reshape not only our outlook on life's conclusion, but equally the deliberate way we interact with each cherished moment of our journey here on earth.